Alright, chat. What would you say if I told you that most furries are absolute fucking losers? The worst of the worst. The most degenerate little bastards in the world. In fact, actually, I have an idea. Chat, I'm going to open this up to a couple of you to join me in the background. Who of you would like to join me in the background? Because I feel like this would be funner if there's other people here. The next hot take. Y'all don't give a fuck about Transmasc, lol. Hot or cold?
That is hot.
That's hot? Ooh, okay. Jeez, hot. Hot or cold?
I'm gonna say hot on this one.
Alright, Drexel, hot or cold?
Hot, yeah.
Me personally, I'll say cold.
Interesting. So you agree with this, that the fandom doesn't give a fuck about Transmascs?
Yeah, like I've seen some that are just that don't always receive the best treatment just for that, but
Okay, so
not all the time. It doesn't happen all the time.
this might be a really dumb question. Is Transmasc mean like girl to guy, guy to girl, Yeah, somebody that did like a big sound alert and I couldn't hear anything you guys were saying.
Transmasc means is someone who, a transgender person, generally not but exclusive, who was assigned female at birth, and
Okay.
whose gender is masculine and expresses themselves in a masculine way.
Really?
In a non-binary form.
Really? That's what that's okay. Well then this is in my personal opinion, I think this is a super hot take. Like, y'all don't give a fuck about Transmasc. I could agree with it if it was trans male to female. I feel like those ones, those people, get a lot more hate on than trans female to male. But correct me if I'm wrong. Chad, because I feel like the ones that transition from male to female, they get hit with the oh, you're not allowed in the bathrooms, you're not allowed in sports, you're trying to do stuff weird stuff with the kids, blah 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 blah. I feel like trans femme to masculine is almost just kind of forgotten about or left alone. But then I guess if you're in the furry fandom and you're surrounded by gay furry stuff like that, then when you're interacting with other gay furries and they find differences in parts of that, maybe they are running into that kind of situation. What do you guys think?
You don't really hear about it as much from the female to male side. You hear way more from male to female.
Right? Because I feel like the male to female side is always being attacked, and it's more visible. I feel like this might be a hot take. I feel like the female to male transition tends to look easier in the fandom, because a lot of the fandom that goes about twinks and femboys and all that kind of stuff. So I can see a lot of female to male that translate for very, very easily. But the opposite, I've seen that they get harsh criticism, stuff like that. But maybe I'm just ignorant on the topic.
No, that all seems about right.
Yeah. So let's give this one an evenly cooked take. Not cold, not hot, evenly cooked. All right. The next one from Freezy. Can everyone start yelling at me in the replies and pretend I said something controversial? Fuck yeah. Everybody at this guy.
Oh, I'm doing it right now.
Oh yeah. From Spectre. The anti-minor at convention movement really affirms the claim that furry is only sexual. The shift that has allowed society, the socially inept sexual the shift that has allowed socially inept sexual deviants to run around the convention all day is really odd. Okay, so Spectre is basically saying the anti-minor at convention movement is a negative thing. Hot or not? Do kids belong at cons, basically?
I'm kind of in between, because in some events yes, but in some no. So
Okay.
I don't know what to give the answer to that.
Okay, let's go with Cheesecake.
I'm gonna have to agree with Usagi on this one.
Okay. Drexel and Derpy.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with the majority, because there are some ways where I don't want to see a child, but then it's the child is also a furry, let them experience it.
Yeah, there's some parts of the con from that obviously you wouldn't want to see them at, but dealer's dens and stuff where you just sort of
Okay.
more so in a crowd where it's more publicly accessible. I would see that would be more fine
Cool. All right. So this is absolutely a cool take. So the whole anti-minor thing, right? This actually comes on two spectrums. Okay. That whole spectrum of like, oh no, we don't want kids there. That comes a lot from just there's kind of like this innate hatred of children in the fandom, stuff like that. Whether that is your sexual preference or your life preference of that, there's just an overall like I've noticed in the fandom. There's like a hey, we don't want kids in general, but the thing that makes things more sexual, I don't agree with. So, like, long story short, there's a kid-friendly con called A&W over in Seattle. Their entire daytime is literally kid-friendly, run around, all that kind of stuff, right? And, oh my god, the nights... Whoo! Those are some of the most sexual nights I've ever experienced at a con. So... you can have your cake and eat it too. If you have a kid-friendly con, fantastic. If you have a non-kid-friendly con, fantastic. But do note, the sexual deviancy will occur whether you like it or not. The minor or anti-minor thing will not have an impact on that. Just honestly, my take is, hey, have cons from 9 to 5, maybe from about 9, like, have regular business hours. Have, like, probably until nighttime, like 9 to 9, where you shouldn't wear kink wear, you shouldn't wear that kind of stuff, because there's fucking pilots, there's people at work, like, come on. And then after 9 p.m., once it's dark, have after dark. Like, come on. Alright, Toast Dog says, the furry fandom pretends to be inclusive and funny and silly, but in reality, it's the opposite. And it's best to keep to yourself. But don't listen to me. I'm just a silly dog on the internet. Hot or not?
That sounds hot.
Hot? Jeez.
Yeah, sounds pretty much hot.
Drexel.
Yeah, pretty hot.
Derp.
Yeah, I would agree.
Dude, this is not a hot take. This is a toasted take. Dude, if you are having a bad time in the furry fandom, 9 times out of 10 is one of two things. It's either you've burnt the bridges next to you, or you have social anxiety or some barriers up. You work on yourself, and you spread out your wings, and you try things, and you put yourself out there, you're going to have a good time. The fandom's super open to letting things happen, but they're also very, quick to, how should I put it? Judge and distance. So, better yourself.
Just talking about the wrong people.
Yeah, also talking to the wrong people. All right, next hot take by Link Severi. If you have a problem with your friend, talk to them about it. Don't just ignore the problem until it becomes too much. Fix the problem ASAP. Or, I don't know, speak to them out again and never say, you didn't notice the hints? Just fucking say it outright. Don't let it become a problem. Hot or not, Usagi?
That's a freezing cold take.
Freezing cold take, cheesecake.
Take cold. Arctic cold on my end.
Drexel.
Cold.
Derp.
Cold, please be blunt.
Yeah, cold as well.
Okay, this is an Arctic freezing, like Cheesecake said, take. Okay, but here's the thing. I can see why this happens, because furries are socially anxious. Furries don't know how to deal with conflict. Most of them are conflict avoidant. So 9 times out of 10, when you have a situation like this, you have a conflict avoidant person who hasn't got confidence enough yet to actually bring up their problems, and then those problems boil up, and then they explode, and then they just distance themselves. And because they're conflict avoidant, they're going to run away from the conflict and not engage with you ever again, then deal with the conflict head on. So if you have a conflict avoidant friend, check in on them, push their barriers a little bit, try to help them understand that you're a safe place to communicate. You'll be fine. All right, Voss is up next. Not every chubby guy is a daddy, and not every chubby guy wants to be a daddy. Usagi.
That is a cold take.
Jeez.
Cold.
Drexel.
Cold.
Derp.
Yeah, I'll go with cold as well.
Yeah, hey guys, not every person who's put on a little bit of weight, who's got a little bit of punch in the belly and has been noticed by you in a little bit, wants to be reminded, hey, by the way, you're out of shape, man. You have a daddy body. You're going to die young kind of thing. If they actually put it out there themselves, then jump on that kink. Let them know that they're the biggest daddy in the world. But until they themselves start exhibiting daddy-like traits, maybe, just maybe, let them be self-conscious and private about their body types. Cold take. All right, this one's from Smokey. Furry fandom being sex positive is not a justification to treat every single person in the fandom like a potential sexual partner. And some of y'all keep forgetting about it. At least about sexual harassment of people you find attractive and discrimination against the average person. Hot or not.
Cold.
Oh, freezing.
Yeah, cold.
Cold as well.
Yeah, this is just normal. This is basic consent. This is basically it. Now, I will be fair. I will be frank. I will be objectively thing. The fandom is filled with dudes. Horny, hecking dudes. If you wag your tail, they will bark. So if you don't want to be barked at, not victim blaming, don't wag your tail. There will be assholes. There will always be assholes. Like half the population, by definition, is below average intelligence. So expect below average results when the people are approaching you. But consent is a key. Cold take.